Welcome. We're going to continue talking about World War II. In the last lesson, we learned about the invasion of Poland and the invasion of France. So both Poland and France were knocked out of the war. Germany has a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, and the United States has remained neutral. So at this point, Britain stands alone. And during the Battle of Britain, or sometimes called the London Blitz, you're going to have Germany attacking Britain. So after France surrenders, Britain's the only country still fighting against Germany. Britain possessed a strong navy, and Hitler chose not to invade Britain, same as Napoleon, because they have a strong navy and are an island country. Instead, Germany is going to decide to use its air force, called the Luftwaffe, to bomb Britain. So you can see here the airplanes and the destruction caused by these bombings. And originally the bombings were supposed to focus on manufacturing and key war areas to help Germany win the war. But Hitler changes his mind and he directs the Air Force to focus bombings on London and other major cities. And it's going to focus on the civilians. So rather than taking out Britain so they can't not wage a war with bombing military strategic points or manufacturing points, Hitler is going to focus his attacks on civilians. Britain has good radar, which would tell when the German raids were coming. They could see the airplanes in advance, and they had good intelligence, such as code cracking, so they could read a lot of the German messages, and they use this to help hold off the German air raids. The Germans also only had limited amount of fuel for these raids, so they could not spend a lot of time over London or these other cities before they have to return back to, in most cases, Belgium, which they had already conquered, to refuel. After several months, Hitler is going to end his attacks on London. The people in London did a great job of persevering. The new Prime Minister of Britain, who is Winston Churchill, is going to give motivational speeches to the people, and people are going to leave their houses and go to subway shelters or have bomb shelters built in their house or backyard to protect them from these attacks. And Hitler, becoming impatient and knowing that the winter is approaching, is going to decide to invade the Soviet Union, and this will be Operation Barbarossa. So he will attack the Soviet Union despite the fact that the Soviet Union and them have a non-aggression pact, and despite the fact that this may open up a two-front war for Germany. So as we said, Britain has a new leader, Winston Churchill, and he's going to not only rally his own people, but going to rally the free world, especially the United States, against Germany, and convince the United States to sell weapons and supplies to Britain or anybody else who might oppose Germany. And the U.S. begins selling weapons and supplies to help Britain, although they make Britain and other countries travel to the United States to pick these up, rather than actually sending ships across to avoid their ships getting sunk and maybe pushed into war. And the United States becomes known as the Arsenal for Democracy, which means they provide financial aid, supplies, and weapons to those who fought against Germany, Italy, and Japan. All right, so you have a simple history video to watch over the London Blitz. And when you're done with that, you have a prompt in your handout to describe the Battle of Britain, including the London Blitz. And make sure you guys include the words in the handout in your paragraph. And tomorrow, or the next lesson, we're going to continue talking about World War II. And this time we're going to talk about Germany abandoning their attacks on Britain, or at least weakening their attacks on Britain, and instead focusing on. All right, thanks for listening. Have any questions, let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.